Did you know that nearly 55 million people around the world are currently living with dementia, and every 3 seconds a new case is diagnosed? This number has made the disease the 7th leading cause of death globally, a truly alarming reality. But what few people realize is that memory decline is not only caused by age or genetics, but also by the very pills we take every day. Hard to believe, isn't it? Medications prescribed to support sleep, reduce anxiety, control allergies, or settle the stomach, often considered safe, can quietly shrink the brain, fuel forgetfulness, and even accelerate the progression of Alzheimer's disease. The dangerous part is that most people have no idea. They continue taking these medications regularly, trusting them as a long-term solution until clear signs of confusion appear. By then, it's often too late. A recent meta-analysis revealed that some commonly used medications can increase the risk of dementia in older adults by up to 80%. In other words, just one small pill taken daily could be enough to double the risk. Yet these prescriptions are still being widely written and used across the United States, especially among those over 60. In today's video, we will explore 9 common medications that have been proven to be linked with rapid memory decline. These are familiar drugs found in the medicine cabinets of millions of households, and chances are you or your loved ones may be taking them every day without even realizing it. And at the end of this video, I'll also share 3 natural foods that help protect the brain, improve memory, and slow down degeneration. Safe weapons you can start using right away. Let's begin this journey of discovery, because the knowledge you gain today could be the key to preserving your clarity of mind for many years to come. The first medication on this list is first-generation antihistamines. This is a group of drugs that many Americans over 60 still use regularly to treat allergies, colds, or even to help with sleep. Diphenhydramine in Benadryl or other over-the-counter sleep aids containing the same ingredient are especially common. Because they are sold widely without a prescription, many people assume they are completely safe. But the truth is very different. This group of medications is considered one of the most harmful agents to memory and brain health in older adults. The key reason they are so dangerous lies in their strong anticholinergic effects. In the brain, anticholine, a vital neurotransmitter, plays an essential role in connecting information between nerve cells, particularly in learning, memory, and focus. When this activity is blocked by the drug, the communication lines in the brain are disrupted, leading to memory decline, mental fog, and over time, even brain shrinkage. What's most concerning is that this process happens silently. At first, you may only forget a small appointment or misplace an item, but over time, the confusion grows, short-term memory weakens, and this is the very beginning of dementia. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine revealed that older adults who took strong anticholinergic drugs, including first-generation antihistamines, continuously for 3 years had a 54% higher risk of developing dementia compared to those who did not. The aging brain already has lower levels of acetylcholine than that of younger people, so even a small dose can cause noticeable effects. With long-term use, the risk of Alzheimer's becomes even greater, yet many still think of these medications as harmless sleeping pills. In reality, the price to pay may be irreversible memory decline. That's why, if you or your loved ones are currently using them, it's worth discussing safer alternatives with your doctor. The 8th medication on this list is the benzodiazepine group, commonly prescribed to treat anxiety, insomnia, or muscle spasms. Familiar names like Valium, diazepam, Ativan, lorazepam, or Xanax, alprazolam are certainly no strangers to many older adults in the U.S. While they provide quick relaxation, easier sleep, and reduced stress, long-term use carries serious risks for the brain. Benzodiazepines work by enhancing GABA,
the neurotransmitter that slows brain activity and creates a calming effect. However, when the brain is slowed down continuously, it not only suppresses anxiety, but also interferes with memory, information processing, and alertness. A study published in the BMJ found that people who used benzodiazepines for more than 3 months had a 51% higher risk of developing Alzheimer's compared to non-users.
Even a short period of use can be enough for these seemingly harmless pills to accelerate memory decline. At first, the signs are often subtle: excessive daytime drowsiness, slower responses in conversations, or difficulty concentrating. Many mistake this for natural aging, but in reality, it may be the result of the medication. Over time, this can lead to confusion, disorientation, and noticeable dementia. What's concerning is that benzodiazepines are still widely prescribed to older adults, especially for insomnia. That's why if you or your loved ones are taking them, it's important to talk to your doctor about duration, dosage, and safer alternatives, such as improving sleep habits or trying natural relaxation methods. The seventh medication on this list is proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs, a group of acid-reducing drugs that millions of older adults in the U.S. still use daily. Familiar names like omeprazole, Prilosec, esomeprazole, Nexium, or pantoprazole are often prescribed to treat acid reflux, heartburn, or ulcers. They bring quick relief, making eating and drinking more comfortable. However, behind this convenience lies serious risks to memory and brain health. PPIs work by blocking the production of stomach acid, but stomach acid is essential for absorbing nutrients like vitamin B12 and magnesium, two critical factors for maintaining nerve function. A deficiency in B12 can cause confusion, memory loss, and long-term nerve damage. Meanwhile, a lack of magnesium increases the risk of seizures, anxiety, and cognitive impairment.
A German study involving more than 73,000 older adults found that those who used PPIs regularly had a 44% higher risk of developing dementia compared to non-users. This risk becomes even more serious when many older patients take PPIs for years without follow-up checkups. These medications were originally prescribed for short-term use, but gradually became a fixed habit, leading to nutrient deficiencies and a weakening brain. In addition, PPIs also disrupt the balance of gut microbiota, a factor increasingly proven to be closely linked to brain health. That's why, if you are using them, it's important to talk with your doctor about whether you can reduce the dose, switch medications, or try natural approaches, such as adjusting your diet, losing weight, and limiting coffee and alcohol. The sixth medication on this list is antipsychotics. These drugs were originally prescribed for psychiatric disorders such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. However, in the U.S., many older adults, even those without mental illness, are often given antipsychotics to manage anxiety, insomnia, restlessness, or agitation. Familiar names like risperidone, Risperdal, olanzapine, Zyprexa, and quetiapine, Seroquel appear quite frequently in prescriptions for seniors. The danger lies in their direct effect on dopamine and serotonin, two key neurotransmitters that regulate mood, motivation, and cognition. When these pathways are blocked, the brain may become less agitated, but memory, information processing speed, and emotional stability also decline significantly. Some studies have shown that long-term use of drugs like quetiapine or risperidone is associated with shrinkage in brain regions responsible for memory and judgment. The FDA has even issued a black box warning, the highest level of caution, regarding the use of antipsychotics in older adults with dementia due to the increased risk of death. But even in those who do not yet have dementia, these drugs can heighten the risk of cognitive decline, leading to confusion, difficulty communicating, and a gradual loss of independence. Unfortunately, antipsychotics are still often prescribed as a quick fix to help patients sleep or feel less anxious. The short-term benefits overshadow the long-term risks, memory decline that is difficult to reverse.
That's why, if you or your loved ones are taking them, it's important to discuss safer alternatives with your doctor and also consider behavioral therapy, lifestyle changes, or natural relaxation techniques. The fifth medication on this list is the group of sleep aids known as Z drugs, a popular choice for older adults struggling with sleep. Familiar names like zolpidem, esazopiclone, Lunesta, and zaleplon, Sonata are commonly prescribed to help patients fall asleep more easily.
It may sound harmless since everyone thinks you have to sleep to stay healthy, but the truth is these tiny pills can cause long-term damage to the brain. Z drugs work by slowing down the central nervous system, creating a sensation similar to natural sleep. However, they cannot replicate the brain's natural sleep cycles. In healthy sleep, the brain must pass through multiple stages, especially REM, the critical phase for consolidating memory. When using Z drugs, this cycle becomes disrupted. You may get the right number of hours, but the quality of your sleep is diminished and the brain is not truly restored. The result is weakened memory, slower reaction times, and morning fatigue. Some people even experience strange behaviors such as walking, eating, or even driving while asleep without any recollection afterward. This is not only dangerous, but also a clear sign that the brain is being bent by the medication. A study published in the British Medical Journal confirmed that older adults who regularly use Z drugs have a significantly higher risk of dementia, as well as an increased likelihood of falls due to daytime drowsiness. What's concerning is that many people continue taking these pills every night for years, believing they're just a small aid. In reality, each pill quietly erodes memory. If you or your loved ones are taking them, it's important to talk with your doctor about safer alternatives, such as CBTI, healthy sleep routines, relaxation methods, or natural remedies.
The fourth medication on this list is tricyclic antidepressants, or TCAs. These are older drugs that were once widely used to treat depression, chronic nerve pain, or insomnia. Familiar names like amitriptyline, doxepin, and imipramine still appear in many prescriptions for older adults. However, behind their ability to ease mood or reduce pain, TCAs carry serious risks for memory and brain health. The main reason lies in their strong anticholinergic effects. Acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter critical for memory and concentration, is suppressed by TCAs, making it harder for brain cells to connect and transmit information. The result is memory decline and a gradual loss of clarity. A 2015 study published in JAMA showed that older adults who used anticholinergic drugs, including TCAs, long-term, had a significantly higher risk of developing dementia. This risk increases with both dose and duration, meaning the more and longer you use them, the greater the danger. Symptoms often appear silently, difficulty concentrating, frequently forgetting small details, and a sense of mental heaviness. Over time, daytime drowsiness, confusion, and lack of focus become more apparent. Ironically, these very symptoms are often mistaken for depression itself, leading to higher doses which only worsen memory decline. What's alarming is that some doctors still prescribe TCAs to older adults, even though there are many newer, safer alternatives.
That's why, if you or your loved ones are taking TCAs, it's important to talk to your doctor about other options, such as SSRIs, psychotherapy, exercise, meditation, or relaxation techniques to protect memory and mental clarity. The third medication on this list is bladder control drugs. These are commonly prescribed for overactive bladder, a very common problem in people over 60. Names like oxybutynin, ditropan, tolterodine, Ditrol, and solifenacin, Vesicare, can help reduce urgency, frequent urination, or incontinence. For many older adults, they feel like a lifesaver, allowing them to go out and socialize without fear of embarrassing accidents. However, Behind this convenience lies a hidden risk to the brain. The common thread among these medications is their strong anticholinergic effect. Acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter essential for memory and learning, is suppressed when these drugs are used. In older adults, who already have lower levels of acetylcholine, this effect becomes even more serious, leading to rapid decline in memory and mental clarity. A study at the University of California, San Francisco, found that older adults who used bladder-controlled drugs long-term had smaller brain volumes, especially in the hippocampus, the memory center. At the same time, their cognitive test scores were significantly lower. In other words, the very medications prescribed to control urination may be silently eroding memory.
The problem is that the early signs of memory decline are often very subtle. Difficulty focusing, forgetting small details, or feeling mentally sluggish. Over time, the cumulative decline can lead to dementia. Many patients take these drugs daily for years without ever being reevaluated for their effects on the brain. Safer solutions may include pelvic floor or Kegel exercises, changing water drinking habits, reducing caffeine, limiting alcohol, or using behavioral therapies. In addition, some newer medications with less effect on acetylcholine can also be considered. If you or your loved ones are taking bladder control drugs, don't stop suddenly, but do talk with your doctor about the risks and possible alternatives. Memory and clarity of mind deserve to be protected as the most precious assets in old age. The second medication on this list is statins, the most commonly prescribed cholesterol-lowering drugs for older adults in the U.S. Familiar names like atorvastatin or Lipitor, simvastatin, Zocor, and rosuvastatin, Crestor, have long been seen as a shield for the heart, helping reduce bad cholesterol and prevent heart attacks or strokes. There's no denying that statins have saved millions of lives. However, few realize that alongside their heart benefits, they also carry concerning risks for the brain, especially memory. The brain actually needs cholesterol to function properly. About 25% of the body's cholesterol is concentrated there, playing a vital role in building nerve cell membranes and helping neurons transmit signals.
When statins lower cholesterol in the blood, they may also reduce cholesterol levels in the brain. The result is that neurons lack the raw material they need, and memory and learning ability gradually decline. Many long-term statin users describe a feeling of brain fog, frequent forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, and slower reactions. These symptoms are often attributed to aging, when in fact they may be directly linked to the medication. A study in the Pharmacotherapy Journal found that 75% of patients who experienced memory problems while taking statins showed significant improvement after stopping. In addition, statins also reduce coenzyme Q10, a nutrient essential for energy production in brain cells, making neurons more vulnerable to damage. What's dangerous is that statins are often prescribed for many years, even for a lifetime, without always being closely monitored. This doesn't mean statins are entirely bad. For those at high cardiovascular risk, they are essential. But if you notice an unusual memory decline, talk to your doctor. The dosage may be adjusted. You could switch to a type with fewer side effects or consider adding CoQ10. Heart health is important, but brain health also deserves protection. Don't sacrifice your memory just to achieve a perfect cholesterol number, because clarity of mind and memory are priceless. The most dangerous drugs on this list are anticholinergic combination medications.
These are not just a single pill, but rather a mix of multiple anticholinergic agents within the same tablet or treatment plan. They are found everywhere, from cold medicines, cough syrups, and motion sickness drugs to digestive aids and muscle relaxants. Familiar products like cold remedies containing diphenhydramine paired with a decongestant, or gastrointestinal drugs with scopolamine and atropine all fall into this category. It is precisely their ability to hide in countless prescriptions that makes them such a silent threat to the brains of older adults. The greatest danger lies in the cumulative effect. A single anticholinergic drug is already enough to lower acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter critical for memory and focus. But when several are combined or taken at the same time, acetylcholine levels in the brain can drop to extremely low levels. The result is rapid memory decline, slower thinking, and a sharp increase in dementia risk. A study that tracked 3,434 older adults over 10 years found that those with high cumulative use of anticholinergic drugs had a 54% higher risk of developing dementia, even if they had stopped taking the medications years before symptoms appeared. This shows that the effects of this drug group can be long-lasting and almost irreversible.
Even more concerning is that most older adults don't realize that they are taking multiple anticholinergic drugs at the same time. An evening cold pill, an allergy tablet, then a muscle relaxant for aches. All of these combine into a silent chemical storm in the brain. At first, it may just be forgetting names or appointments, but gradually it leads to confusion, disorientation, and eventually clear dementia. That's why, if you or your loved ones are taking several medications, it's important to review your medicine cabinet and talk with your doctor or pharmacist to avoid this overlap. Reducing or replacing them with safer options could be a crucial step in protecting memory. Because once acetylcholine has been depleted for too long, the damage it leaves on the brain may no longer be reversible. After going through the 9 common medications that can accelerate memory decline, you may feel worried or even unsettled. But the good news is that science has also revealed many natural ways to protect the brain, reduce inflammation, fight oxidative stress, and support memory. One of the most effective strategies is adding brain-nourishing foods to your daily diet. Below are 3 standout warriors that have been thoroughly researched. Food number 3, blueberries. Blueberries are often called the brain berry.
These tiny fruits are packed with antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, compounds that help fight oxidative stress, one of the main mechanisms behind brain cell degeneration. You can think of oxidative stress as rust forming on neurons, weakening them and reducing their ability to transmit signals. A study from the University of Cincinnati found that older adults who drank blueberry juice daily for 12 weeks showed significant improvements in memory and learning ability. Each time you enjoy a handful of blueberries, you're essentially giving your brain a protective armor against aging. Food number 2, fatty fish. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich sources of omega-3s, especially DHA, the primary structural component of the brain. DHA helps maintain the integrity of nerve cell membranes, supports signal transmission, and reduces inflammation. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that people who ate fish at least once a week had a 60% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's compared to those who rarely ate it. Beyond prevention, omega-3s may also slow progression in individuals already showing signs of mild cognitive decline. Just 2 servings of fatty fish per week provide your brain with the precious fuel it needs to stay sharp.
Food number 1, leafy greens. Kale, spinach, and Swiss chard, these familiar leafy greens are loaded with vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene. All of these nutrients have been proven to protect neurons, support memory formation, and help maintain sharp thinking skills. A study published in the journal Neurology found that people who ate 1 to 2 servings of leafy greens daily had cognitive abilities equivalent to someone 11 years younger. In other words, a simple bowl of leafy green salad each day could make your brain feel a full decade younger. When you combine all 3 of these foods, blueberries, fatty fish, and leafy greens, you're not only providing essential nutrition, but also building a natural shield against memory decline. They are easy to find, simple to prepare, and most importantly, they offer long-lasting benefits for the brain that no pill can ever replace. We've just gone through a difficult but important journey, exposing 9 common medications that can quietly accelerate dementia in people over 60. Together, they reveal a troubling truth. The very drugs you trust to solve one problem may actually be creating an even greater one: memory loss, fading independence, and the gradual dimming of cherished moments. But alongside these warnings, we've also seen a ray of hope.
The brain is not just a passive victim. It has the ability to heal and protect itself if we give it the right conditions. Blueberries, with their antioxidant armor, fatty fish rich in omega-3s, and leafy greens loaded with vitamins and nutrients are 3 natural allies scientifically proven to strengthen memory and slow cognitive decline. We cannot change age, but we can change our daily habits, how we eat, how we care for the brain, and how we protect our independence. So take action today. Review your medicine cabinet, talk to your doctor about potentially risky drugs, and at the same time, add brain-boosting foods to your daily meals. This isn't just about keeping your memory sharp, it's about continuing to live independently and enjoying your golden years with clarity and joy. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Of the 9 medications we covered today, are you or a loved one currently taking any? And have you tried adding certain foods to help protect your memory? Share your story in the comments. Your experience could inspire thousands of others. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button to support us, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next videos. Your support is what motivates us to keep bringing valuable knowledge that helps seniors live healthier, more independent, and happier lives every single day.